It's time for a backyard tour, and I'm going to be doing this in bits, in installments. I'm starting with a little video tonight, but I think I'm going to proceed over the course of a few days because we've got some big changes coming. I think I'm trying to set every video up as a cliffhanger. Stay tuned for the next edition. Anyway, I've moved more stuff over to the corner because the thing that's going to happen tomorrow is something we've been anticipating for quite a long time, and that is, off in the distance, we're finally going to have the debris hauled so that we can start putting the expanded raised bed garden together. And have I pointed out that that horribly ugly market umbrella is just a temporary measure? I tried to throw it away several times, but because we have so much going on, my husband didn't want to put up our nicer umbrellas, you know, and risk them getting torn or have them start fading. And we do intend to buy some sort of a sunshade for this area because this is west facing, and does it get some warm sun. So it's the evening, the early evening, around 6:30ish, and this is the warts and all view of the back 40. And as tempting as it is to pretty it up for a tour, for a video, I've decided that that doesn't really accomplish, or it works against what my goal is, which is to be able to watch a sincere and not necessarily real time, but a real life redo of our yard. So this is the real deal. Normally my husband does keep the backyard mowed pretty well, but because he's been working back-breaking work here in the this north portion of the yard to dig up all the Bermuda grass, and got sick in the middle of all that, and has been having trouble with asthma, so he just hasn't been able to attend to the mowing of the lawn. But he's been addressing the grading, trying to figure out what the level is. You see all the twine out there. And we had gotten some quotes, and we finally had someone come out and look at this today, and much to my surprise, they said they could come and haul it away tomorrow. So we went into scramble mode, and we did some more lifting, some more clearing of the area that's in front of these beds back here, the original beds. And I'm not done. I have to move my strawberry towers off of that cement because they're going to need that path to be as clear as possible. Obviously, there's some things we can't remove from there. I am probably going to come out here in the morning and disconnect my drip and just move it out of the way so it can't get damaged. And I will continue the video, I guess, when I've got a different view in this area, and when all of this yummy stuff disappears. So it's gonna feel like magic for you. I should do one of those snapping things. Well, it's not all gone yet, but we're getting there. Almost. Can you visualize it? I still can't. This is where I undid the drip. I just detached it at the hose, and it's on a bunch of elbows. I need to rework it actually, but it was easy to just flip it around and tuck it back into this bed. This bed's gonna be torn apart soon too. These peas have seen better days. I've got a lot of powdery mildew now. Oh, look at that one. Ugh. And this one. Ugh. Those are coming out probably this weekend. Well, now that I've chronicled the exciting part of our project, I can go ahead and move on to the actual tour. I'll try to make it quick. I know there's probably there's not a lot of excitement for what's going on around here, but I did want to show that my sweet peas are blooming, and oh my goodness, I'm so glad I grew them. They are just amazing. The smell, whew, I love them so much. I'm going to try to make sure that I do right by them next time without overplanting them and get them started a little earlier. This is the graveyard of plants that didn't get what they needed. I've got an old kale here. My daylilies, these were a rescue from a clearance center, and this is the first year they've bloomed. I think I've had them 3 years, so that's been pretty exciting. These are the herbs that had been in that tower, the cinder block tower. I thought that I could possibly hold them over, carry them into the new garden. They're not looking too spiffy, so some of them may just have to be tossed. I may just start with some new plants from the nursery. It's too late, I think, for me to really start seeds at this point. My basil is still looking really good, my variegated basil, and I seem to have some Thai basil growing up in that pot back there with my peppers, so that was kind of exciting. That was self-seeded. My peppers all look pretty good. I've moved this plumbago into the back. This is going to be planted as far as I'm planning right now. It's going to be growing up the arch that'll go into the new expansion. So it's blooming a little bit up there on the top. And I have a little one too, so I'm hoping to put the large one on one side and the little one on another. This is the rose that we dug up when we were pulling the grass out. We still don't know what color the blooms will be. It hasn't set any flower buds yet, so I'm waiting on that. And this is my Queen Elizabeth rose that was a bare root, and which has been struggling a little bit. Hopefully it will bounce back. I've acquired a few new things that don't look very impressive in their current state, but these obelisks were an offer-up find. And the lady, I bought the curvy one first, this one right here, and she gave me a little bit of a deal on it. I offered her lower than what she was asking, and she mentioned that she had these ones with the balls on top that she was going to be listing. They weren't ready to be listed yet, and when she listed them, I contacted her immediately and tried to see if I bought them both, if she'd work with me and give me an even better deal. And we kind of hit it off when I went over there, so that was pretty exciting because she marked them down quite a lot. So those are the bottoms. They're very tall, and I do not know exactly what I'm going to use them for, but I think they're going to look really good. So nothing else down at this end, but I will take you over to the babies. The tomatoes are begging to go into the big bed. So the first order of business, as soon as we do get the all the debris hauled away, will be to build the new beds, because those aren't dependent on the gravel being laid out or being installed. The idea is to install them and then dig the paths out around them so that they won't be recessed into the gravel. That's what I'm trying to say. So I've got a number of assorted things here. I did not start anything else from seed, much as I wanted to, because I was feeling the pressure of all these plants already maturing so quickly. So I'm either going to be, unfortunately, buying some starts or starting some late seeds. I do have some sunflowers. I don't know if they'll be visible. They're kind of hidden back there that I had planted. I was going to do some succession sunflower sowing, but that's another story. You can see that the lawn's quite overgrown, and I know that that's just something I have to live with right now. We normally don't keep it, we don't let it get like this. We do keep it mowed, but because reasons, it's looking like this. So the fruit trees are looking pretty good. I haven't noticed any fruit on the fig yet. Oh no, I'm lying. Look at that. There's two little babies right there. I see them. And then I've got fruit on the peach tree, although I'm not very hopeful that it'll be very good, because it's not going to focus. There it is. Because I don't know why. It just feels like, oh, there's a couple actually. There's another one back there. I just feel like this tree is too young and too new for the fruit to be much good. I'm not expecting anything from it. This tree, however, I've had for a little while. This is my a Eureka lemon, and I've mostly been losing blossoms. They're just dropping off. We've been having a lot of wind, but the leaves are also very yellow, so I don't know. It may just be that this tree's not happy. I do see some fruit forming here. I don't know. There's another one there. I don't know if they're gonna come through. Ah, there's one right there. I lied. And then the other trees, the lime, I can't tell. Yeah, no, the lime's got a lot of little fruit on it. That's probably the oldest of all the dwarf trees. This is the almond tree. I think in the last video this was possibly still in a bag. I probably should have watched the video to remind myself, but I know I did wait too long. It was a bare root and I waited too long to pot it up. I was originally planning to put it in the ground, and because of the fact that I couldn't really carve out a bed, I don't want to just plop it in the middle of the yard because that will be a problem for mowing the lawn. So it seemed that putting it in a pot would be the thing to do, but this worries me here. All this dead stuff at the ends. I think that this poor baby just is either went into shock or it's dying. One of the two. It was a clearance tree, and oh, I thought I saw a leaf on it. No, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that one. This is the apple tree, and it looks pretty good. I've been having troubles with aphids. I don't know. I don't really see any right now. Nope, there's an ant. That tells me there may be aphids on here. It's kind of hard to, yeah, there's some on that leaf there. So I'm gonna have to come spray this. And then we've moved the potatoes over here. I need to add some more soil to the bag that doesn't have as much. This one could probably use a little bit more too. And then I need to start another pot of potatoes. I'm a little behind on that. The strawberry towers are looking pretty good. We've been getting a lot of fruit and it's been delicious. But I did lose a few plants, and so I've rearranged, moved a few around. This tower is now completely full, and they're all the same type, which is, I don't think I'm lying. I think this is the one that has all Chandler in it. But I don't see, I had a big marker in here that I don't see. So maybe, yeah, this is the one that has all Chandler. I do not know what happened to my big marker. And then this one has a mix of different kinds of strawberries. So I'm gonna have to buy at least 2 more, I think. I think that's all that's empty. Yeah. So that's waiting to be done. And then down here, I'm not sure what order I'm gonna splice all these little video clips together in. So I'll just mention again, if it didn't come up already, that this bed of peas is about to be torn out. Actually, I have 2 beds of peas. This one's still giving me so many peas though. It's so hard to take it out when it's doing that, but you can see it's got a lot of mildew all over, especially the older. These are the older plants back here. These ones were newer. And I had some volunteer beans come up. I'm guessing these are Scarlet runner beans. I read somewhere that those are perennial, and the kale's still looking pretty good. But I'm gonna empty this complete bed, and I'm actually gonna build a bean teepee. I may leave the beans in there for that reason. And I do have a lot of carrots on this side. I have no idea how mature those are. I'm gonna have to try to sneak a peek, and then those are gonna come out. The chard is still looking pretty good back here, so that I will probably let be. But this poor cabbage never had a chance. I planted it way too late, and it's been very, very warm. I don't think it's trying to create a head yet. So the berries are going to be moving. These are raspberries, this one, and then there's another one here. Oh, it's setting little fruits. I need to put those into pots. And then I picked up, because I'm an idiot and I just don't have enough to do, I guess, I picked up a little grape plant, and I'm gonna have to figure out where that's going. The blueberries here are also going to be moving. They're going to be going into pots because they just don't have any room to grow. I don't even think that's a foot of depth there for these poor things. But ooh, I've been enjoying I think I said it had so many berries on it. It really doesn't have that many, but having any feels like a lot after a couple of years with no berries at all. So I've been enjoying them. A few here, a few there. So here's the big monster. This is the, I guess this pea trellis and that one there were the first 2 that I planted. I feel like I added a few extra peas on this side, or else it just doesn't take as much of a beating from the sun, or it's getting better water. This side looks better, but this is all coming out. So I'm emptying all 3 of these beds. I did cut my cover crop. You can see the browned buckwheat down there, and I will work that into the soil, and I will leave the garlic, and this will be planted too. These are staying. These are the peppers. One did die, the serrano, but I had a serrano that I'd started from seed last year that can take its place. And then this one is a jalapeno, a green jalapeno, and this one is a purple jalapeno. So this is going to be where my hot peppers go. And then when the berries leave over here, I have 3 more pots to do more hot peppers. And I'm going to kind of keep them segregated from the sweet peppers, which will go out into the garden once the beds are in. So I've posted the floor plan before of how I'm intending to lay out my beds, but I'll probably pop a picture in here of what's going to happen in terms of the beds. The beds will end at about where this bed ends, so they'll line up. I don't really have them jutting any further into the area. And then again, there's a table going to go under that tree. And then the fruit trees, which are now on the lawn, and on the patio, those are going to come into here, but I don't really know exactly how I'm going to do that. I'm going to play with that and, you know, be like an old lady that rearranges things until she's happy and then just rearranges them again. I did start pulling. Did I mention that before I could paint here, I had a staple issue? I had a bunch of little rusty staples in this wood because before we added this little overhang here to keep water out of our covered patio, which is storage. I wish you couldn't see through that cloth because you can see just how horrible it is. But we used to cover this with shower curtains we'd get from the dollar store. Every winter we would just come out and staple gun a bunch of plastic and just to try to keep the water out of there, which was not a very elegant solution, and it would end up at the end of every summer with shredded, horrible plastic. So my husband built these little, they're not beautiful, but boy, they sure work. These little overhangs of corrugated plastic. And so I just need to come out here, and there's a few more staples up near the top that I'm going to pull out, and then I will start. I've already got my stuff out here. I'll start spackling. I've got my brush to scrub it down and my spackle and a little tool, and then I can get painting. I kind of want to get this all painted before we get the gravel in. I don't want paint all over our brand new gravel. I see some cobwebs. I also need to replace my fairy lights. I had installed some little fairy lights up here, and at dusk when the days get longer and I want to stay out and it's hot and I want to stay out here longer, it's nice to have these little fairy lights. But I don't know if we accidentally cut them or if they just broke down over time, but you can see that this one is broken, and so they don't work anymore. So I did uncover one of my potting benches here, and this one still needs to be uncovered. And of course I made a video about uncovering the baker's rack. So it's just a matter of tidying this area. It's not horrible. It doesn't look very pretty, but I did mention, well, at least I think you'll hear it before this portion, I'm doing a warts and all video because that'll make it more dramatic, the big reveal, when we come back around next month and we have accomplished so much. I hope. And yeah, hopefully by then we'll have these original beds planted out, the new beds will be installed, the gravel will be installed, this should all be painted, this should all be tidied. It should be good. So thank you for checking in with me. I really do appreciate it. And if you have any questions about our project, you can always leave me a comment. If you would like to continue following the saga, feel free to subscribe. If you liked this video, you can give us a thumbs up. And I really do appreciate having people look at the video and, you know, give me input. It's like having a whole community of helpers. So thanks again, and we'll see you probably next week. I think I'm going to start trying to do weekly videos, but the next video about this backyard will be in about a month, so likely the first week of June. So we'll hope to see you then. Bye. Here's a quick little postscript. This is the finished area. They had guaranteed to take at least 80% of our pile because we were only paying for one load, one dumpster full. So we have this little tiny bit that we're going to have to deal with ourselves. But oh yeah, this is mostly emptied. Time to move on to the next phase.